I always thought hell would be eternal fire and demons with pitchforks. Turns out, it's working in the same open-plan office as Ethan Carter. And somehow, my hell just got a whole lot worse, or maybe better, because 10 minutes ago, the man who barely acknowledges my existence just asked me to dinner. Out loud. In front of everyone. "Dylan, you free tonight?" His voice still echoes in my ears. Smooth like whiskey. Sharp like a knife. He didn't even look nervous. He just stood there, hands in his pockets, as if it was the most normal thing in the world to ask your sworn enemy on what sounded suspiciously like a date. My jaw must have been on the floor because the entire marketing team went silent. Even Jenna, queen of office gossip, nearly dropped her iced latte. And me. I laughed. That awkward, high-pitched laugh people make when they're choking on air. "What?" I said, blinking up at him like an idiot. "You heard me," he replied, one corner of his mouth curling up in that smug, almost smile that made me want to throw my stapler at him. "Dinner. 7. No explanation. No punchline. Just those 2 words. And then he walked away. Just like that. Leaving me standing there in my cheap Target blazer. Feeling like someone had just flipped my entire world upside down. If this were a romantic comedy, now would be the part where my best friend bursts in to give me a pep talk. Except my best friend works 2 floors down. And all I have is an audience of coworkers whispering like it's the finale of a reality show. Did he just? Jenna's eyes are sparkling with scandal. "Yup," I mutter, sinking into my chair, praying the ground swallows me whole. "Holy crap. Dylan, Ethan Carter just asked you out." Like, Ethan Carter. As if I need reminding who Ethan Carter is. He's the guy who started 2 months after me and somehow became everyone's golden boy. Tall. Brilliant. Annoyingly good-looking. The kind of man who could make wearing khakis look like a fashion statement. He's also the guy who, until today, treated me like background noise. So why the hell did he do that? I glance over at his desk, half expecting him to smirk at me from across the room. But it's empty. Of course it is. He's already vanished like the mysterious brooding anti-hero he clearly thinks he is. And me. My brain is short-circuiting. Because here's the thing, I don't like Ethan. At least, I'm 97% sure I don't. He's arrogant. He's competitive. And he once told me my presentation was fine, in the same tone you'd use to describe lukewarm soup. But there's also the other 3% of meth part that notices the way his sleeves strain against his forearms. Or how his cologne smells like expensive sin. That part is an idiot. "Are you going?" Jenna leans over my desk, her grin feral. "No." I blurt. Too fast. "Of course not. Why would I? It's probably a prank." Jenna raises an eyebrow. "A prank that involves, what? Paying for your dinner? Come on. Dylan. He's hot. You're hot. Stop." I hold up a hand. No one is hot. This is corporate America, not The Bachelor. She smirks. "Tell that to HR when they get your wedding invite." The day drags like a bad Netflix series. Every time I look up, Ethan's seat is still empty. Like he's vanished into some secret executive lounge to laugh about this with his other perfect friends. I try to focus on my spreadsheets. But my mind keeps replaying that moment. His voice. His smirk. The way the entire room held its breath. By the time 5 o'clock rolls around, I'm a wreck. My phone buzzes just as I'm shutting down my computer. Unknown number. I don't even have to check to know who it is. "Dinner. 7. Don't be late." No punctuation. No emoji. Just pure, infuriating confidence. I stare at the text like it's a live grenade. My first instinct is to ignore it. My second instinct is to throw my phone out the window. My third is wondering what cologne he'll be wearing tonight. Damn it. So now here I am, standing in front of my closet, debating if it's weird to Google what to wear when your nemesis asks you out. Because, technically, this isn't a date. What? Power play. A social experiment. A chance for Ethan to humiliate me in some trendy Manhattan restaurant. But then another thought sneaks in, the one that makes my stomach twist in ways I don't want to think about. What if it's real? What if Ethan Carter, the man who's been nothing but cold and impossible for months, actually wants me? 7 o'clock arrives faster than I'm ready for. The restaurant he picked is the kind of place with dim lighting and candles on every table. The kind of place where couples lean in close, where laughter sounds softer, more intimate. And there he is, Ethan Carter, sitting in a corner booth, wearing a navy button-down that makes his eyes look like sin wrapped in silk. When he sees me, he smiles. Not the smug half-smile I'm used to. A real smile. Warm. Disarming. And suddenly, I'm not sure if I'm walking into a trap, or falling into something I won't want to escape. Dylan, he says as I slide into the booth. Just my name. Like it means something. Ethan. My voice sounds steadier than I feel. For a second, we just look at each other. The hum of conversation around us fades, leaving only the soft clink of silverware and the pounding in my chest. You came, he says, almost surprised. You didn't give me much of a choice. I shoot back, gripping the menu like it's a lifeline. He chuckles, low and smooth. And damn it, does that sound like music. There's always a choice, he says, eyes catching mine. You chose to be here. I swallow hard. So, what is this? Exactly. Some kind of corporate team-building exercise. A bet. His smile falters. A bet. Yeah. You know. Let's see if we can make Dylan squirm. Congrats. By the way, you're killing it. He leans forward, forearms resting on the table. His gaze sharpens. And suddenly, I feel like I'm the only person in the room. Dylan, he says softly, this isn't a joke. I asked you here because I wanted to. My laugh comes out brittle. Right? Because we're such great friends. He doesn't flinch. No. Because I like you. The words hang between us, heavy and electric. For a second, I forget how to breathe. You, what? I like you. He repeats, slower this time, like he wants me to feel every syllable. Have for a while. I blink at him, brain scrambling for logic, for some explanation that doesn't involve Ethan Carter actually being human. You've spent months ignoring me. I wasn't ignoring you, he says. I was trying not to make things complicated. Complicated. He exhales, running a hand through his hair. For once, he looks almost nervous. You get under my skin, Dylan. You drive me crazy in meetings. You make me laugh when I don't want to. And every time you smile, he stops, shakes his head. I didn't know how to handle it. My heart is doing somersaults, but my brain is screaming. This can't be real. So your solution was to act like I don't exist. His lips twist into a rueful smile. Yeah. Stupid plan. Didn't work. I stare at him, searching for the punchline. But there isn't one. Just Ethan, sitting there with raw honesty in his eyes. And something inside mesomething I've been holding tight starts to crack. Why now? I ask, voice barely above a whisper. Because watching you laugh with everyone else while I sit there pretending I don't care. He shakes his head again. Jaw tight. I'm done pretending. Silence stretches between us, thick with everything unsaid. I should say anything, but my throat feels like sandpaper. Then, without thinking, ask, what if I say no? Then I pay for dinner, and we go back to being co-workers. His voice is steady, but his eyes give him away. There's a flicker of fear there, hiding behind all that confidence. And that's what does me in. That tiny crack in his armor. I lean back, heart pounding, and for the first time all night, I let myself really look at him. The man who drives me insane, who challenges me, who makes me feel more alive than I want to admit. And I realize something terrifying. I don't want to say no. Dinner is a blur of shared plates and stolen glances. We really talk for the first time. About music. About childhood summers. About how he once dreamed of living by the ocean. And somewhere between dessert and the second glass of wine, I start to forget why I ever thought he was cold. When the check comes, he reaches for it without hesitation. Ethan, don't, he says, smiling. Let me do this. Outside, the night air is cool against my flushed skin. We walk in silence, the city buzzing around us. At the corner, we stop. So, I say, stuffing my hands in my pockets. What happens now? He steps closer, close enough that I can feel the heat of him. That depends. He murmurs. On whether you're going to let me kiss you. My breath catches. Every smart, self-protective thought I had goes up in smoke. Because the truth. I've wanted this, God. I've wanted this more than I'm ready to admit. So I don't say anything. I just nod. And then his lips are on mine. Soft at first, like a question. Then deeper, hungrier, like an answer neither of us knew we needed. The world tilts. And for once, I don't care if it never tilts back. When we finally break apart, he rests his forehead against mine. Breath warm against my lips. Complicated. I whisper. And he laughs low. Beautiful. And so damn real. Yeah, he says, brushing a thumb over my jaw. But worth it. And for the first time since that insane moment in the office, I believe him. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.